House Republican floor leader Patrick Windhorst of Metropolis is next on Illinois Lawmakers. A former Massac County State's Attorney, Representative Windhorst, is the GOP spokesperson on the House Judiciary Criminal and Restorative Justice Committees. Good to have you back on the program.
Great to be on the program. Thank you.
Now, I've watched a lot of House Republican floor leaders over the years, going back to Bill Black's time, Mike Boss' time. You're kind of the chief spokesman at the moment on whatever the legislation is, and sometimes it gets really hot and heavy out there.
Well, it definitely can. My job is to be prepared, whatever bill's called, to make an argument, to ask questions, to make sure everyone, especially on our side of the aisle, is aware of what we're voting on and how they'd like to vote. And part of that is also organizing the debate to make sure our best voices on a particular issue are the ones that are able to speak up and ready to debate a bill. We will, of course, as you said, get really contentious sometimes, and I think that is to be expected.
You've been working on a House Republican working group that's dealing with issues associated with criminal justice, in particular, making some tweaks to the Safety Act that passed earlier, passed last year here. What are some of the things that your working group is how you're approaching this? And there's also a Democratic working group, and you may be meeting in the middle somewhat.
Well, we hope to meet with the Democratic working group to talk about the ideas we have. Our working group was put together by our leader, Tony McCombie. She wanted us to put forward common sense solutions to the issues facing public safety and criminal justice. We have a lot of experienced voices on our side of the aisle. Myself as a former prosecutor, we have 3 current police officers or law enforcement officers in our caucus. We have 2 attorneys who are on our working group that have brought a variety of issues, and we've also reached out to stakeholders and community members to get ideas to improve.
There's kind of a raft of bills that you've got out there. Let's start with House Bill 5120, which widens the possible detention net to all felonies and does some other things. What's the intention there?
Well, with the Safety Act, we've eliminated cash bail. So a judge is making a determination if a person will be held in custody pretrial or released. There's no middle ground anymore. However, the law currently says that there's only certain offenses for which a person can be held. We want to expand that to all felony offenses and give the judge greater discretion on those offenses. We also are changing the burden of proof for detention. The law right now is clear and convincing evidence. That's the next highest legal standard below a felony or below a conviction for a proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We're going to lower that to preponderance of the evidence. We're hearing about cases where people who should be held aren't able to because of that burden.
There's another one, House Bill 5121. It calls for the revocation of pretrial release when the defendant's charged with an offense while they're out on release.
Yes, one of the big concerns we had with the elimination of cash bail was recidivism, that we were going to see people arrested, released, and continue to commit criminal offenses. This bill is designed to address that. So if someone is arrested on an offense and released and they commit another offense, then they're held pending trial.
There's another one that restores the process for courts to issue warrants for failure to appear in court.
That's correct. Another concern we had with the Safety Act was the fact that people would not report to court or appear in court when they're supposed to. The Safety Act put in a system where a summons is preferred over a warrant for a failure to appear. This restores the prior law that says, no, a judge can issue a warrant and have the person come to court when they miss a court appearance.
House Bill 5131 establishes a timeline with the Department of Human Services to remove someone from a county jail. This has to do with mental health aspects. How does this work? How would it work?
If a person is found unfit for trial because of a mental illness, they're supposed to be placed in the custody of DHS to be made fit for trial, to get mental health treatment and then returned to court for trial. The problem is these individuals aren't being taken to DHS in a timely manner. They're supposed to be taken within 20 days under the prior law. That's been moved to 60 days under the current law, and it isn't even being met, that 60-day provision. What we would like to do is return it to 20 and say to the state, if you don't place these individuals within the 20 days, then you will have to pay the costs of incarceration and mental health treatment to the sheriff.
Representative Windhorst, thanks very much for your time on Illinois Lawmakers. We'll be looking forward to seeing how you and the Democrats maybe find some middle ground on this in weeks and months to come.
We hope so. Thank you.